Greetings everyone, my name is Zetterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered 2 Veersmith levels, so in this part, I will cover at least 5 Veersmith levels. Starting off with this level, Brightman Minus Infinity by Croby, with 19 plays and a score of 4. As always, if you want one of her levels to be featured in a future part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comment section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels I cover in these parts, so if you want to check if her level is covered, expand the description. So a recreation of Brightman's level from Rockman 4 Minus Infinity, which I will cover in the future once I start covering Mega Man ROM hacks. Not the best start, I ran into a lot of enemies at once. Considering how many custom assets and enemies from other Mega Man titles Rockman 4 Minus Infinity added, this level is only going to be a partial recreation, with new stuff added in for close enough replacements or total replacements if they aren't good enough. For instance, this used to be the Brightman platform. There was a stray bullet over there for some reason. I knew there was a secret here. If I recall correctly, we'd be facing off against Shadow Man here, in the original Rockman 4 Minus Infinity, but I don't recall exactly. I never actually played Rockman 4 Minus Infinity. I may watch playthroughs and speedruns of it on YouTube. There is a secret to the right, I'm sure of it. Just an E-tank, but it is worth it. That was a close one there. Let me wait a bit here because I'm worried of being telefragged by the Yoku blocks. Especially as they don't spawn unless they're on screen. So far, rather straightforward. Another one of these Brightland platform segments. But we're missing one of the original gimmicks this stage had. This is what I was worried about earlier, about getting telefragged by the Yoko blocks, because there's no indication of where they spawn in. You have to wait and see if where the Yoko blocks are going to spawn in. In the original stage, I believe there was a switch block gimmick, and I much prefer that one over this one. This was an okay level, although I don't know how much of an accurate recreation of the original stage is, as this engine is missing several assets. I'll still give it a thumbs up though, it was okay. Second level on the lineup is Endurance Run of Challenge Course 1 by Team Mabrick, with 29 plays and a score of 11. This stage has no checkpoints until the end, but this stage only takes about a minute long, hence why it's called an endurance run. Let's see if I can survive until the end. Essentially, I need to be careful with how much damage I take and how much I use my special weapons. Unless RNG decides to play kindly with me. Like so. I only have access to jumping and shooting, by the way. No sliding or charge shots. Every enemy is first introduced in isolation before getting combined in more difficult situations. We saw that with the crazy cannons, as well as with the shield attackers before, and now with the puka pellies. That was a close jump there. Now we're combining the enemies together. A rather easy to get E-Tank. Not too bad. I'm right at the boss gate. There is no checkpoint though, so I need to survive against the boss. And it's Ringman too. Good thing he's weak to the Mega Buster here. This was certainly an endurance level, but thankfully it wasn't too bad. The hardest part of the stage was the midway point with all those spikes in the corridor. Third level on the lineup is Bombman Interstellar Base by Vasco, with 13 plays and a score of 2. This is going to be a rather short level in fact. So I will cover one more level by Vasco right after this one. Guess I go down then. I wonder if there's anything to the left. There isn't. Suddenly the screen boundaries break. This section feels rather barren of enemies. And that was actually a spike pit, not actually a spike drop. Could use some better conveyance here. And that should be it. On to the wily boss. Bombman, as the title stated. All I can say is that this stage just existed. It just felt rather rough and felt more like a concept or testing grounds for a future level. Fourth level up is Iceman Underwater Base, also by Vasco, with 11 plays and a score of 3, and this is also rather short. If all of your levels are this short, I'll cover them in batches of 2 or 3. We start off with the same special weapons as before, but with the addition of the Hyper Bomb. Is it just me, or is this level design look similar? With the exception of the environment being changed, as well as the enemy placements. But the general level structure looks really similar to Bombman's level. This is different though. This is different as well. Should I jump down or wait? Let's jump down. That was the correct way to go. Half the time I'm worried I have to wait for either a Yoku block or a footholder to come in. We don't really need all these E&M tanks as the stage is rather easy. His weakness is probably the Hyper Bomb. No, he's immune. It's a brick drop. Like the previous level, this just existed. It felt like it iterated on the first half of the previous level. Fifth level on the lineup is Woodman Remix by Game Master Man, with 20 plays and a score of 4. Likely going to be a remix of Woodman's stage from Mega Man 2, though a bit longer. He also only has special weapons from Mega Man 2. That's different, we actually have Atama here, and they originated in Mega Man 3. Now we moved into Crashman's level, though this time it's taking place at nighttime, whereas originally Crashman's level only took place at nighttime when we were at the top of the level. These screens feel rather empty. If anything, this stage feels like a remix of both Woodman and Crashman's level, with elements added in from future Mega Man titles. I don't really need that M-Tank, so I'll ignore it. Now we're back to Woodman's level. This stage feels a bit strange. Halfway through Woodman's level we entered Crashman's level, and once we completed that, we entered the second half of Woodman's level. If anything, this stage feels boring to me. It didn't really remix the stages of Woodman and Crashman enough, so the stage feels elongated and lackluster. I feel like I'm just going through the motions throughout this level. At last we're at the end. His weakness should be the same. No, he's immune against the atomic fire. Of course, his weakness is the air shooter, the weapon I use the most in this level. As I said, this felt like a lackluster level. 6th level on the lineup is Sky High Infiltration by Phantom X0ZX88. With 6 plays and a score of -1. This is going to be a rather short level, it seems. Only have access to treble boost. So it's going to be a shmup level. So far the stage is rather easy. Most of the enemies you can actually skip. Do you even need this Yoshiki? I guess it means there's a boss nearby. Here's Shade Man. This stage just existed. There was basically no challenges whatsoever. And that's it. Nothing more to say about this level. I would have preferred if this actually had a challenge arc of some sort. 7th level on the lineup is Power Plant Attack by SonicBioniclemaster, with 30 plays and a score of 12. I presume this will be a traditional level, but we'll have to see. What secrets lie to the left? Nothing, just a room filled with 2 enemies. That's strange. It really feels like there should be something more to that screen. I suppose that was a mini-boss room. A pathetically easy one because that gachapon is really easy to deal with. After all, it's on the same elevation and there's no reason to go to the right until you destroy it. Even these cannon enemies pose a greater threat than the gachapon in that room. This gachapon is as difficult as the original one was. I know we're assaulting the power plant, but why are we only facing 3 enemy types? Those being the Metools, the Neo-Shotmen, and the Tri-Cannon enemies. And here we are facing off against Sparkman. Well, this was a lackluster level. I know it's supposed to be like a traditional level, but it just existed. The only gimmick here were the elect blocks, and they weren't really used in interesting configurations. That's all I have to say about this stage. 8th level on the lineup is Collapse version 4 by MAGMAX, with 26 plays and a score of 6. Let's see how the 4th iteration in this series fares. Base Needle Cannon with Perfect Freeze. A lot of Pookers, now a lot of Power Musclers. Just drop down and avoid them. Now a bunch of Baconers here. And take care of the remaining ones this way. Now a lot of Coltons. Once again using the shine to reflect their bullets back at them. Who is next? A lot of train mets. Now a lot of Sniper Joes at once. Actually, that wasn't too bad. A lot of cannons. This is a fun, if a bit straightforward level. I suppose we're nearing the end now. and fall into the pit beforehand. The checkpoint is only one screen away, so it isn't too bad. What you need to do over here is escape as quickly as possible from these falling blocks. Or get clipped into the terrain, that works too. Now we face off against a lot of these enemies. And hold right, otherwise you will die. Fair enough. We essentially have elevator challenges now. I was hoping to keep the shine over there. Oh well. Took a lot of damage there, but I made it. Well, this is bad. I'm probably gonna die on the next screen. Case in point, Badass Skeleton Joe. I'm still enjoying this more than the previous 5 stages. A little bit better this time. This stage has pretty good checkpoint placement, especially as it spams enemies everywhere. Whoops, I didn't expect the box to bounce that much there. Let's try this again. Let's try this one again. This time I'll play it a lot more safer. And there we have it. This boss battle is a bit repetitive, but it is fun when you understand how it works. You can play it a lot more risky by getting 4 shots in and trying to stay on top of the blocks, but there's more chances of falling into spikes or getting crushed against the walls. 9th and final level of the part is Cobalt Factory by Plexurus CX with 23 plays and a score of 3. For this factory level, we only have access to a limited amount of Mega Buster energy. And just as the title states, this entire factory has a shade of blue. There are several locations where you can refill your Mega Buster energy though, so that's nice. I'm liking where the stage is going so far. By forcing the players to use a limited amount of Mega Buster energy per section, it forces them to be a lot more careful with placing their shots. This configuration is effectively a conveyor belt running in reverse, with the risk of falling into spikes, of course, and micro-stuttering. The enemy placement here is on the rather safer side. All these enemies can be dealt with by firing one buster round at them. There aren't any durable enemies here. This would be a perfect place to put a checkpoint, by the way. There should be a checkpoint for this section because you can soft lock yourself easily here if you destroy the count bombs and be forced to start from the beginning of the level. So let me deal with this enemy first. And slowly make my way across. Seriously, no checkpoints yet? Alright, now there's one. There should have been one just before this section. A simple jet adapter segment because we have infinite usage of it here. No enemies whatsoever. These would be perfect places to place a lot of lyrics and tri-propeller enemies. But nope, it's completely clear of enemies. I guess this is a breeder segment? Next checkpoint after that section, and back to the conveyor belts and crash lifts. Or rather, crash lifts acting like conveyor belts. Here is Sparkman, and I believe we need to collect all the keys that are placed over here to defeat the boss. In fact, for some reason, Sparkman is clipped into the wall. And that's the end of the level. This was an above average to decent fortress level. I liked its ideas and I liked its difficulty progression, although it could have really done with one extra checkpoint before the first checkpoint. I recommend this stage to at least average skilled Mega Man Maker players to above average skilled, as some of those jumps and slides could be a bit tricky. Nevertheless, I had fun with this stage. In fact, I say that this is currently my favorite level of the episode, with my honorable mention being Brightman Minus Infinity by Croby. Most of the other stages I played in this part were either okay to lackluster. So in the next part, I'll start covering levels from the Mega Man Creation Collab project. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!